Okay, I'm going to show you where I'm at in this process on a Royal Star Venture. Now, I've got two bikes here, both Royal Star Ventures. This is a 2008, that's 2013. What I decided to do is convert this one by taking the back trunk off, making it more cruiser type, I guess, than maybe touring type. And so, being that I have one of each, I thought I'd walk through. There's no video I could find. If you do want to convert, it's pretty simple. You take the two screws out on the front of your rear seat and take the seat off. Now, once you take the seat off, underneath the seat is all of your plug connections. They're plug and play for the most part. And so I unplugged all of them. There were only two items that you have to address. One is the electrical that runs under the trunk. Let me see if I can show you. Here is the trunk removed. But underneath the trunk is a housing that has your CB radio down here. And there's electrical wire that goes in there. You'll have to snip it, which means you're going to lose your CB unless you do something differently. Then when this is sitting on the bike, there's a ground connection. It's kind of hard to get to. It's in this section here. And I took this little panel off. Gave me a little more space. I took a little 10 millimeter and come in, open in. Was able to break that ground connection and remove it. And in terms of removing the hardware, you're not actually removing your chrome railing. You're only taking a couple bolts out, and I put them back now instead of leaving the holes blank. But you're removing them and your armrest for your passenger. And then you just pick that whole box off. You never go into the trunk. And really, when you know what you're doing, it's maybe a 20-minute job. So you all recognize the Venture with the trunk. Here's what it's looking like so far without it. Now, I've saved all my wiring. And I've rolled it up and tucked it here into the side, tied it off. What you have to decide is whether you want to put your passenger seat back on, which you could. You could put it back on, bolt it back up here. But I'm going to make this a solo, which means now I've got to deal with this. And so my plan is to cut these off. And then I'm going to put a bib here. And put me a nice metal rack frame piece. And should be good to go. So I'll give you a wide view. Let me step back. I think it looked pretty sharp. So here's your Venture with the trunk. And here's one that's converted into a cruiser like. So not sure yet how I'm gonna cut those off, but they look like it'd be pretty easy. This is probably the biggest one. And go ahead and order me a custom bib to put on this, and you can buy those bibs with all kinds of emblems or anything on if you want to. So anyway, I hope this is helpful. I could not find a video. Found some old library stuff that discussed it, but I could not find a video that was ever done. And then when I read some of the descriptions, they were a lot more than actually I think it has to be. So hopefully this is helpful.